Hello and welcome to Design Boss Dialogue, the podcast where bold and ambitious women in interior design come for real conversations to transform and take their businesses to new heights. I am your host, Lisa Marie Elkhadraoui, interior designer and business mentor, here to share my experiences and insights into running an interior design business, as well as empowering you to build the confident, profitable design business you've been dreaming of and truly deserve. In this space, we blend creativity with strategy to help you craft your success and thrive in the world of design. Every episode is packed with unfiltered, no BS conversations, daily inspiration, and actionable business tips to turn your passion into a thriving, cash-rich business. Together, we're redefining what it means to succeed in the interior design industry, one intentional, game-changing decision at a time. So get ready to step up, elevate, and create the design empire you've always envisioned. Hello, welcome back to another gorgeous episode of the Design Boss Dialogue podcast. And today is a special one because I have got a group of gorgeous souls together from the Design Boss Diary community, women that are going to be talking to you about their journey, how they moved from awareness to implementation across boot camps, through to Design Destiny, through to Design Thrive, and into masterminds and one-to-ones, and where they were to where they are now, and how they found their journey, how they've pivoted, how they started, and how they are carrying on in their business. Today is a special one because we're going to hear from women that are at the heart of the community, where connection and conversation matter the most. So sit back, grab a cuppa and enjoy today's episode. Did you find the community aspect of it really empowering for you as a businesswoman?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I'm a sole trader essentially and on my own in the business other than the trades that I work with. So it can feel at times like a lonely place. So to be able to communicate with the other ladies, and we set up WhatsApp groups or able to bounce ideas or ask for little bits of advice. So yeah, definitely that. I think that's super important when you're in a business on your own.
I think it's nice having, like you said, a group of women that you go into something together and you all learn and grow as the months go on and you build these bonds and friendships.
Great to be a part of other like-minded women going through the same kind of queries and things as well, really. So yeah, it was great. I loved it. I feel supported, and it's just great being in part of a group of everyone's so lovely. It's such a brilliant community. I mean, it's fantastic. I've met a lot of the girls in person and obviously met you in person, and it's been so good to be a part of this. It's been really good for my confidence, just that feeling of kind of like belonging to something that's really worthwhile and thriving.
Oh, I love that. It's so important. I think that was my main big drive when I was putting Thrive together, was to create like a community of like-minded women, keep the pods small, where women could grow together over 6 or 12 months and just experience this journey together, because it can be so lonely out there in the industry, and the industry can be really notorious for gatekeeping and hidden doors and where do I go find the answers. And I think when you've got a group that actually, you've got those fortnightly calls and you've got the mindset element as well, and you can come together and do that, you all grow together because you understand each other, which is just so nice, isn't it?
It's lovely. It's really important to kind of be able to have a community of people you can lean on and answer questions.
So tell me, with Design Destiny, what did you really enjoy about it?
For me, because I work by myself, and for me it was having a group of like-minded women that I could bounce ideas off, that we were all in the same kind of boat together, and it was really, really valuable and just insightful to have that support. Because when you're working by yourself, it can become quite lonely, and you can start to then self-doubt yourself. So having that group of women on Facebook and during the live calls was absolutely fantastic. And it was just, for me, it's completely changed the way that I run my business and see my business as well. And also just having designers who you can talk to and bounce ideas off is, honestly, it's so valuable. Yes, it's great to chat about work and processes and strategies, but even if you want ideas for where to source a different supply of bathroom taps or tiles. It's just being able to have that connection, to having that resource kind of on tap, tap into, is just great ways to improve the business. What's really valuable about it, and I keep saying valuable, but sometimes as a designer, when you see something, it's like, oh, I really like that. Where's it from? And it's you just don't get the answers that you need. But like Lisa said, there's absolutely no gatekeeping at all. We've all been very open with each other. I'm very much one for sharing anyway. And it's just 100% worth it, definitely.
I love meeting a group of women. It was really lovely to meet a group of women. I think working on your own can be very isolating. And especially as I'd relocated, it was that really lovely meeting of the same minds. And even though we were all in a few of us were in different places within our businesses, we were clearly all looking to go back to the beginning. And so therefore we were able to build all together, which I really, really enjoyed. I felt that we were a team with you supporting us as well. And I felt like it was always a really, really safe space when you were having sort of doubts over certain things. It is that extra support network with you, with other women, and again, a safe space, but that can build on everything from Design Destiny. So you don't feel alone. And you don't feel like you've just sort of had Design Destiny and you've got all of these thoughts whirring around. Now you can, for me anyway, personally, I feel like I can build on Design Destiny through Design Thrive, but with far more confidence.
I think having a group of like-minded women that you can go through the modules together, or if you're out the other end of it as well, and you just want the accountability, the support, that fortnightly touch points, the mindset as well, because obviously we have the mindset and we have the strategy, which goes hand in hand. It's invaluable, isn't it?
It's absolutely invaluable. And having the dates in the diary when you're doing your planning for your week, and you know that call's coming up that week, or you've got a mindset call in that month, it just really personally for me, it sets me up for that month. I find that you can really learn from all the other women and all the other wonderful ladies in the group, because they'll have a question that you thought, oh, maybe I hadn't thought of that right now, but it might be something that I'm looking at in the future. I'll really listen and learn, and then we can all support each other. The Facebook group afterwards as well, being part of the Facebook group with Design Thrive, just allows everyone to confidently, and again in another safe space, put up their thoughts, and everyone to support each other, really. So I think the support from yourself and from the group of ladies is just remarkable.
And it's just lovely that you can all have takeaways from each other's questions as well, because I think that's important. You're not just coming with a question, you're listening to all the other questions and then thinking, okay, I can implement that in my business, and that would be really good to think and consider that. So it's kind of a multifaceted approach when it comes to Thrive, because you're all getting support from so many different angles.
I felt after each call, I felt very inspired to continue, and I realized that all of us were struggling with similar things. We didn't maybe all talk about the same problems, but I could connect with all of them.
And then from there, obviously, we spoke and we thought it was a really good idea for you to go into Design Destiny, which is obviously our foundational group program that really looks at dismantling the business down and building core key foundational elements for your business. So how did you find that as a starting point?
That was great, because a great group of designers and people on different parts of their journey were all working, we're all running our businesses and having life and everything. So going at that pace was good, because we could tackle a topic a month, weren't we? And we would have the group calls and the work and the follow-up. So that was brilliant. And I really got into it, and I was like, yes, here is the gold and the juice, and we're working through all the stuff. So yeah, really, really helpful to sort of do it as a group. I got a lot out of it. A lot of us are doing it on our own. So yeah, to have your design tribe and to learn from each other, really important. I've learned to embrace imperfect action. So when I came in to coaching, I was like, oh God, people are going to discover I haven't quite got this all ironed out yet. And then you're like, oh no, but so is nobody else. You have to be vulnerable and exposed, and nobody likes that. We all want to come to the table with it all together.
Well, some things I probably wouldn't even think that I would need. And then obviously everyone's in a different position in their business now. So some people have been working a lot longer than I have. Some people are in my sort of line where we're sort of just starting out, really, getting the business up and running. So I feel like that it's kind of like you're all learning from each other. And so someone that might have been working a couple of years ahead of me, they might have issues that I think, well, actually, I could probably put something into place now that would help me in the long run. And yeah, just having a bit of clarity, I think, with it all. And the community's been lovely. I mean, we meet up, we go to trade shows together. I'm really good friends with a few of them, and we're just always in contact. We've got a WhatsApp group, always asking each other, issues and what we're up to. And it's just a really lovely community, because I feel like sometimes when you're working on your own, it can be quite lonely. And sometimes our friends don't understand our world.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's also, I think, from a businesswoman point of view, because you are a businesswoman, this is your business. Now, for some women, they might be wanting to leave corporate and doing it. For some women, this is the business and they've got to make it work. And it can be lonely. And your corporate and PAYE friends don't quite get it. But when you've got this community of women that you're all on this journey together, you all kind of become in each other's worlds, and you become like business besties, don't you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. So when we go to the Visionaries or we go to any events that you organise, we always meet up, meet for drinks beforehand or go for dinner. And it's kind of taking out that setting of just sort of, obviously you're there to build your business, but equally you're making friends as well. And it's just really lovely, and it's a really lovely community. The women are phenomenal, and they're all from every single walk of life, which is lovely.
Everyone is just in it together, and you're all each other's support network. So to hear that is just really beautiful, because it makes my heart sing to think that I am able to facilitate for a lot of this and give you girls the toolkits and the support and the empowerment and the community as well, which is gorgeous. And it's all about connection, community and conversation. It's the 3 C's that I'm really, really honing in on this year, and making sure that, women get access to all of the support, all of the tools, all of the connections. And this is why the podcasts are so important, because they reach so many women, and then women can connect with one another when they've listened to a podcast and go find another designer. Because I think there's so many events in the interior design industry where it feels a little bit stuffy, and you can't approach certain people, and you come away thinking, oh, well, yeah, the talk was great, but I didn't connect with anyone. And, it just felt all a little bit too tight. And I don't want women to experience that. I really don't. And I came from a lot of gatekeeping when I was starting out. So I know how daunting it can be. So for another designer to feel like they can listen to something, feel completely held in a harness and say, I'm going to contact that designer, I'm going to go and see her at the event. For me, that is just so beautiful, because it means that the right energy is being spread amongst the community. And talk to me about your experience.
Well, yeah, it's been a super positive experience. It's just given me so much knowledge and insight into what can be quite a gate-kept industry. So what you've been able to share with me and what I've been able to learn through the modules and the templates that you've helped with and things like that, it's helped no end. And also it's been really lovely to go through it with other women in very similar situations. Everyone's slightly different with their business, but we've all got things that we can share and learn from each other as well. It's been really good.
Well, my experience is I had a fairy godmother, as I used to call you. So there's something incredibly powerful about that. Not even just that to know that you've got somebody with experience and you've got skin in the game with them. And there's something amazing about that, because so many of us doing it from home or doing it from our studio on our own, and to have the physical input and support is amazing. And also then the accountability and knowing that you're going to have a meeting, it makes you pull your socks up and get on with it. I think what it did is it just made me feel so much more confident. So I could tick off the things that I knew I was doing, look at the things I wasn't doing. And I think from there, I was like, okay, I can see where my gaps are. I think what's changed is now when people say, what do you do? I say to them, I run an interior design business. That's what I say to people now. I have an interior design business. And they go, oh, I don't say I'm an interior designer, which is part of my identity and who I am, but I don't say that anymore because I am a business owner first and foremost.
Design Destiny was really great. I didn't know what to expect, but what I was looking for was clarity, you know, in the sense of somebody helping me to guide me through my business and understand the structure of it, because I just felt really overwhelmed. And when it came to project work, I just felt like I was overgiving. I didn't know where to set clear boundaries, and Design Destiny has just helped me through the whole process and really got me thinking about my business as a businesswoman, not just working in projects, but working on the business as well, which I never looked at it that way before. It's just been really informative the whole way through. It's also a community because you meet other women, other like-minded women, which is really lovely because you just make new friends. It's a community, and you've always got somebody to go back to and ask questions on, and it's just really lovely.
What are you finding it's doing for you and your business?
It's great. So obviously, because it's 6 parts, I'm very much treating it along, because I'm doing it along Design Thrive, that I can approach each module one by one, stage by stage, not get too overwhelmed, and then come to the Thrive group with questions about each module and just work through it all like that. It's been so helpful because I think just doing it on my own, you know, if you didn't have Thrive, and you can't sort of bounce the questions off with you and the other girls in the group. So that's been really, really helpful. It was a real eye opener. I think really just everything was very much broken down into stages of things that I hadn't really considered, or things that I'd considered, and I've been going around in circles about a lot of things. I've been overwhelmed by certain aspects and how to structure things. So it was a really interesting experience.
It really helped me because I was just like, I had this fog over my thoughts about what I was doing, and it just came out and it got really organized and structured. And I realized that if inside I'm chaotic and insecure about what I'm doing, then a business plan doesn't get me anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, it has to start with me and my vision and to be determined to do what I'm doing. So then the business plan is easy somehow. It was really amazing.
There are 6 modules in Design Destiny. How did you find the implementation of those modules into your business?
I would say pretty straightforward. The way that Lisa runs through it on the live calls it's very relatable. For me, it was very relatable. And because I was doing Design Destiny, I knew that I had to put in the effort to implement it. Otherwise, what was the point? I just found it quite uplifting to do it. Exactly what it's like and the challenges that we face. So it was really, really relatable. I just rolled with it.
Yeah, you loved it.
It's brilliant. I think if you're looking for the next step, I was in the business and I knew I needed some structure and some boundaries in place. And if you're looking for that and you're looking for help with your mindset as well, and having somebody to, you know, be available to talk to chat to, having a group of women to chat to as well, has hugely helped massively.
Yeah. And your business is completely elevated, grown, even in the space of 12 months. It has been such a big transformation. And I think some people look at where they are and they think, oh, you know, it's going to take ages to transform. And actually, when the right information is given in the right quantity at the right time, it can instantly transform.
Yeah, absolutely. The change is just incredible.
There's nothing like experience, and you don't get taught that in school. You don't get taught how, you know, sort of real life events. That only comes with experience. And I mean, I've been doing this for 12 years now, and every project is different. Every project is a learning curve, you know, and there's always new things to learn. Every project, every client, how do you deal with clients differently? And this course has actually helped me to understand and set boundaries with clients as well, which I never used to do before. It's got me stronger with the wording and how to actually, you know, format emails much better so that you're much more clearer and they know where they stand as well.
I think also, you know, when you have that live element of support where you can come on and ask questions based on foundational pillars as well as live client work to a certain degree, you're getting a live, tangible response that you can take back and put into your business. How valuable did you find that to you?
They were very valuable because I never felt afraid to ask anything that I wanted to. The feedback that I got from you really helped me progress through certain difficult clients that I had as well. And I was able to make better decisions and communicate better with my client. It was invaluable because then I just got so much more clarity through it as well. So yeah, it was very valuable.
What did you love about Design Destiny?
Honestly, it was life-changing for me. I was in a position where I'd done lots of courses. I knew I wanted to get into interiors. I'd been working in an interior shop, and I just didn't really know what direction to go into after that. I sort of had a plan. I spent lots of time working, but not actually anything intentional, because I wasn't really sure which way to go. So being on the Design Destiny was just phenomenal because I met some beautiful women who was, it's just such a lovely community to have in, and we're all going through the same motions. So we've all got the same problems. And Lisa is just, I can't even express my gratitude to you. I couldn't have got where I am now without you. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. I love that. Honestly, I'm feeling the love. And with your modules that you've already done, has there been a module that you've had like a biggest key takeaway from?
Services and pricing, working all of that out that was a big one. Yeah, that was a big one at the beginning because there's lots of things I knew I wanted to do and I wasn't quite sure how to structure it or price it, obviously. So yeah, that was a big one. And I think once I'd got that nailed, I felt really, really confident that I knew what I was doing and I could carry forward.
But as a bolt-on, when you did Design Destiny, you also did Fully Booked and Highly Paid. And this is the profitability pricing strategy that I teach that women can have access to as well. We obviously don't want to give away the golden rule of how we price, but how did you find that as a game changer in your business?
An absolute game changer. Absolute game changer. Because I felt that I had pricing structures there. I felt that I had my packages that I was offering. But when I broke it down and looked at it and looked at how I was pricing and what I was charging, and then it just didn't make any sense. So to have, again, it comes back to the word clarity. The clarity was there. So the structure was there. So it was very simple to say, okay, I've got this bedroom or I've got a bathroom, or I've got a whole house. How am I going to price it? Oh, I'm going to go back to the structure and I know exactly how I'm going to price it.
The formulas are there, and you can just price them profitably as well without losing money.
Well, at the end of the day, and that is the key thing, it is a business. So, you should be profitable. It just doesn't make sense. And I think realizing that, going, no, you're giving a service. It's absolutely worth the clients paying for. And at the end of the day, you provide a really lovely service. They're very happy with it. It's an amazing room or home for them. And they don't come back and go, oh, gosh, that was a lot. They come back and go, thanks so much. Because as essentially creatives, we can be very emotion-led. And I personally, and I know from lots of the other girls in the group, we find those conversations, or did find those conversations, the most difficult to have. But when you're following
guidelines,
the guidelines, etc., then you know exactly where you are. You have communicated that already to the clients. When the scope has changed or they're adding things in, you can just go back and say, I'm just going to have a look at that. That's going to be a bolt on. That's going to be added. It's going to be this much. It is, again, it's treating it the business. Obviously, we want to have a lovely relationship with our clients. I think that's really key. But if it's all laid down, then those conversations aren't difficult to have.
Your pricing strategy is, I think I was even talking to this with some ladies at the weekend as well, just saying how it's revolutionary. It's changed. It changed everything, because I just think pricing is one of those things that is really difficult, and charging by the hour and all of this, how that's what I was doing, going to be charging by this. And yes, I had a few flat fees and they were easy, but then I thought, how am I going to charge for this? And having that that the pricing strategy is just, well, it is absolutely game changing, and I feel confident, really confident in implementing that. So my pricing is completely different, absolutely, and I'm confident in my time and my worth. This is my price, and this is what I'm going to charge, and I sit comfortably and confidently with that now.
Talk to me about the mindset, because obviously this is an integral part of business that's actually, most interior designers, when I meet them for the first time, they get taken back a little bit by surprise when they say, oh, you're doing mindset work as well. What does that relevance have to do with it? But obviously we have the business strategy and the soulful mindset work, and they equally marry beautifully. But what has your experience been in Design Destiny and working one-to-one together of the importance of mindset in your business?
Just how resistant I was to it. That was what was so interesting. Is in the beginning within Design Destiny and doing our mindset work, I was like, what's this about? Yeah. So I've learnt with all of the mental health learning that I've done over the last few years is that now when you have the resistance, that's the area you need to focus on. So, and then I started to break it down and wonder, why was I so resistant to it? And then the limiting beliefs underneath all of that, you need to get into it, basically, because there's nothing wrong with admitting that it's there. I think that's the problem. Like I said, at the beginning, it's like, oh my God, I've got to have it all. But we don't, because we're all a product of the lives and the education and the families that we've had and the experiences we had, haven't we? So yes, I found it interesting that in the beginning I was very resistant. And then having had the one-to-one, you said to me, I don't know whether you remember this, but you said that's only 20% of it for you personally. The 80% is the fact that you got to get your mind set in the game. And that was a really big wake-up call to me, because I was like, yes, I realise now that the things that I want to achieve, the goals, the bigger goals I have, they're going to happen with grit and grind. But actually, if I really look at what is holding me back, I have done an enormous amount of work. I'm trying to reprogram all of that to be able to, I know I'm a great designer. I know I have a great business. I have many, many things which are positive and life affirming and all those things. But I feel in such a different place because of the work over the last 6 months that I've done. It's a game changer.
Looking at how that mindset really underpins the business. And I had never thought of that ever. I really thought it was strategy, this, strategy, that. Let's go. And then actually once you changed a load of your mindset and looked at that in a different way, then the up leveling or the changing or the different feelings when you'd wake up in the morning, it was just absolutely outstanding. So absolutely incredible.
I think what I hadn't really considered before I did Design Destiny was that the mindset work was just as important, that unless I felt confident about my worth, about my pricing, about the service that I was offering, I wasn't going to be able to sell that service. The two go hand in hand. Obviously, business strategy has to be part of it, but I think when you really understand what you're doing, what the service you're offering, the process, the pricing, you get a confidence from that. And then that is conveyed when you're talking to potential clients about your services. Because people, particularly with interior design, they're investing huge amounts of money. Their homes, which are incredibly personal, incredibly important to them, they're inviting you into their home to help create a space for them, and they need to know that they can trust you and that they're confident that you can do the job. So unless you can exude that confidence yourself, it's always going to be more tricky. Most enjoyed just having everything set out step by step as we went along, proper process, and just to go back and without completely starting from scratch, but just revisit everything and make sure that the foundations were really rock solid from the ground up. And once I completed the course, I just felt like I'd covered all those foundations. I had the makings of a really good business. I knew what I was doing. I knew how to deliver my services. I knew how to price myself. And I had all that mindset work as well, the confidence to go and do it. And it really was the starting point of really transforming my business.
Initially, I didn't think it would change much, if I'm completely honest, and I didn't realise how impactful it would be. So working with that, I think, has really made a huge difference to me, because you kind of start out, you're procrastinating all the time and you're not in a good place in the fact that you don't really know what direction to go to. But where you're doing sort of putting these things in place, it really changes your mindset and how to work within the business. And it's just made a huge impact on my work and my personal life as well, if I'm completely honest, because it's so positive. It's just made a huge difference. And then I feel like it's been a bit of a domino effect with everything else. It's just kind of all falling into place.
So if we go back to before we even met, before Design Destiny, from the businesswoman you were to the businesswoman you are now, talk to me about the difference and who she was then and who she is now.
Well, first of all, was I really a businesswoman before I met you? I don't think so. No, I feel the way I used to deal in my business before, the way I used to communicate with clients, it's so different now. Now it's so much more structured. There's just so much more clarity. There's boundaries. You know, I have set days. I never used to have set days where I actually worked on my business and where I worked on client. I never used to map things out. Now I've learned how to do that. You know, I've learned to set goals. I've learned how to do financial forecasts. I've learned things that I never used to do that you should do as a business owner. I never used to do. This course has just really got me to understand the business aspects of a business and really think like a businesswoman.
I probably wouldn't have called myself, or would have struggled with the business side of things. And that was what I was having to learn most. I was getting the clients, but maybe not as many as I would like to have had. Now I understand far more about the processes of running a business and running it as a business, and knowing my worth and knowing what my services are worth to the clients, and looking at it much more of I am providing a really good service to people. And then looking at the funnels, looking at quarterly income, that was a big thing as well, you know, making sure I wasn't selling myself short, really. And this was a proper business. It's not a hobby, it's a business, and I want to run it as I want to love what I do, which I do. That is happening. But yeah, just making sure that everything made sense, really. The boxes were ticked.
Yeah,
the funnel was there. There would be clients now, there would be clients in the future, in the business, on the business, all that sort of thing. Yeah, that became much more clear.
I think as interior designers, I meet so many amazing, talented women that are great at what they do. And then when it comes to like business, some women say, oh, well, I've got a business model that really works well for me, but I'm struggling on marketing and getting clients, and I don't really have a pipeline and I don't have a forecast. And my question back is, well, do you have a business then? And actually, let's look at the foundations. There's a module that talks about structure, boundaries, and time management. Yeah. And I think that is such an important module for a designer to actually look at, because you could be like here, there, and everywhere, not understanding how to structure your days. And that module in particular was one of the big modules that you were able to transform elements in your business to kind of almost up level.
It's massively helped, because at the end of the day, I love my job, but I'm also a parent and I do lots of exercise. So for me, it was important to basically have a real clear structure as to how to run my days, which has been, you know, incredible, life-changing. Confidence boosting, I'd say, as well, because it gave me that empowerment to be like, actually, you know, I'm not going to do that meeting tomorrow because I need to be at my desk doing designs. It's going to be next week or the week after. And I think as long as you're really clear with the client about that, and communication is really key, then it's often fine.
Sharing all of your words of wisdom around Design Destiny and Design Thrive, what it's done for your business, because your business, we're a year in now, and your business, even in the 6 months that you did the modules and obviously the 6 months that you're in Design Destiny now, they've just been life-changing, and you're a completely different businesswoman from the businesswoman that I met when we started nearly a year ago.
Yeah, I feel so different in myself.
You've up-leveled massively. Like, it's just, yeah, it's life-changing. Just, I don't even recognise the woman who you were when you first started to the woman you are now. It is just, it's beautiful to watch you flourish.
Like, that's what excites me, is like, what's going to be the next 6 months, the next year.
I know.
You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to be the same person I was 6 months ago. I want to grow.
And that's what you get when you're in Design Thrive and from Design Destiny, which is lovely. What were your biggest key takeaways from the modules?
It was putting a strategy in place for how I sell my services and just becoming really clear on what my 3 core services are. Alongside that, it was basically creating boundaries. So before Design Destiny, I was running around all over the place, had no sort of structure to the business. The days were running away with me. And now I do my site visits on certain days. I do home consultation on certain days. And I have days just once I'm in the studio, in my office, just designing. That's what I found the most valuable. But also it was just realising that I don't need to be on the end of an email all the time.
My favourite bits were the clarity with the templating that was shared, with taking the client the whole way through the journey and having it really clear on the communication that you do at every single point, and making sure that we dotted all the I's, we've crossed all the T's, so that you're clear on what's happening, the client's really clear on what's happening, and you've got really, the steps are there. And I think that has massively helped me, but also just, yes, the clarity is there. So that was great.
The word clarity comes up in so many of our podcasts with women that I talk to that say, I've got so much more clarity now that I've gone through Design Destiny and Design Thrive rather than where I was. And it's crazy to think when women turn passions and hobbies into businesses, or if they've come from an academic route of like interior design, university or college, that being an interior designer, being an interior design business owner are such vastly different things. And you could be great at one, have zero clarity at the other. And then you go through something like this and it gives you such a volume of clarity.
Absolutely. I think that at quite a few stages, particularly, I think really discovering my purpose and my why of what am I doing? Why am I doing it? Was really important and really got me to think quite deeply about everything, really. Yeah, that was brilliant. I love that part.
I think the key takeaway from it was really how I structured my business, structured it better, learned to set boundaries, and also understanding my products, understanding my client, who my target client is. From there, I was able to build my services to target those clients. So it's been a journey of sort of structuring my business and better understanding it.
I think probably the foundational pillars, really why. Why do you want to do this business, and building on that and then keep referring back to it. So then when you'd get down another module and then you'd go, oh, hang on a minute, let's just, why am I doing this? Why am I wanting to do that? And so therefore being, especially when it came to services and looking at your suite of services and going, well, I could do this and do this. And I remember you saying to me, I was scattergunning and wanting to please everyone and do everything. And then actually looking at that and going, well, why do I feel the need to have X, Y, and Z service? And I didn't have to. I could really hone in on that. So really honing in on those foundational pillars was my absolute key takeaway.
So it's implementation, I think, is the key, because when we do our mindset calls or we do our live calls every couple of weeks, it really gives you so much confidence. And I'm buzzing for ideas in my business and I'm jotting them down and I'm so inspired. And I think that's what you get from each module, because you're kind of pushing yourself to the next thing that you might not do it on your own. But by Lisa sort of explaining it all to you thoroughly, you can really sort of go to the next step, take yourself to the next step and push yourself. And you can just see, I know that over the time period, I've been really like scared of getting on Instagram and showing my face. And Lisa's like really held my hand and just pushed me. And I feel so much more confident now.
Where are you and how much more confident do you feel within your business model?
Oh, worlds apart, I think. I mean, this time last year, I was, as I said, was going around in circles, wasn't really sure what I was going to be offering and how I was going to be offering it and how to show up with visibility. And I feel like I'm approaching this year with much more clarity, much more confidence. I feel like I've got a more defined kind of structure of what I'm going to be doing this year and how I'm going to get to where I want to get to.
So if there was a woman out there listening to this and she was listening to our conversation and she was on the fence, what would you advise her for Design Destiny and Design Thrive if she was thinking about signing up?
Oh, 100% just go for it. Like me, I just I want more. I knew I was ready for more, and doing the experience itself. Yeah, it's brilliant. Just go for it. You would not regret it. I feel like I've saved months of wasting time of wondering about things, how to work things out, or asking the wrong people, and doing it all by myself. Like you said, is that's hard. That's tough in this industry. So yeah, absolutely go for it.
If you're thinking about it and you have any niggles around your business, you just know that you want to succeed and you want to excel, but you just don't know how to do it. I would really definitely invest in Lisa. It's 100% worth it. Like, it's completely business changing, and I say definitely do it because for me it's been hugely helpful.
I wouldn't hesitate in doing it. I think it's been really helpful to have a mentor, essentially, to guide you through every stage. Someone who's been there, done it, got the experience, has kind of seen it all, and is there to really be honest about the processes as well. It has helped me no end, and as a person to grow, and that self-belief and belief in the business, leaving as a businesswoman, which is really important. I would not hesitate at all. It's been the best. I wish I'd done it earlier. It's an investment, but it's a worthy investment without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt. That's what we need to learn as well, that we must invest in our businesses, invest in ourselves and our businesses.
Absolutely. When we start a business, we have to inject funds to start a business anyway. You don't walk into a shop and the shop says, well, we're open, but we've got nothing in it because we've just started the business. The shop needs to get kitted out before it can start bringing customers in. And our businesses are the exact same. We've got to invest in order to grow and to scale.
Yeah, definitely. Because what I'd say, it is investment. And I think maybe people get too wrapped up in, but it's another overhead. It's another something that I've got to pay for. But actually, you get it back. What you get from it and what the changes you'll make to your business, it's absolute worthy investment tenfold, I'd say.
If someone was thinking about going into either Design Destiny or working on a one-to-one or investing in a coach and mentor, what would your advice be for them?
I would say that you need to have a little look at yourself and be honest with where you're at, and then just go for it. Just work out what your needs are, like really work out what is it I need help with, but just invest, because you can do it the hard way, the long road, but get help and really good help. Then it's just so motivating and life affirming, and then off you go and you've got somebody there, got your back. Invaluable. Definitely just reach out to Lisa and her brilliant programs.
Oh, don't even think about it, just go for it. It's given me purpose and clarity. It's helped me figure out my niche in my business, and it's just phenomenal. It really is, because it's given me so much confidence in myself that I wouldn't have working on my own. I'm trying to build this on my own. And if you're really thinking about it and you want to go straight into it, Lisa covers all aspects as well. It's not just sort of the basics. We kind of go into every single area that you might not think you need, but ultimately you will do down the line, and you wouldn't get that anywhere else. So definitely sign up.
If you are feeling overwhelmed, if you're looking for clarity, you're looking for structure, you're looking to move your business and help it move forward, I would definitely highly recommend. The value that I've received from Lisa has just been second to none. So I really enjoyed it, and I would highly recommend it.
First of all, your individual thoughts and questions will be answered. So if you have something that you struggle with, you can go on the depth of your issue. It's just a place where you can join, talk about and reflect on your own questions and issues regarding the business, and you can get support.
I think it is a really excellent course to give you all that information that you need to set yourself up, get yourself a suite of services, and plan for the future as well, because it isn't just about this is how we do it. It's also about when you get to this point, this is how you might think about growing it, and talking about automations and things that are going to save you time and make you a more efficient business, which in turn helps you to grow more. So I think if you're looking for something to help give you those solid foundations of setting up a design business, then Design Destiny is for you. And I think if you want that further support as well, joining the Design Thrive, where you get access to Lisa to have one-to-one discussions around your own business, and getting a little bit of feedback on what you're doing is really beneficial as well.
It is an investment, but it's the best investment I made, because I have grown so much and my confidence has grown so much. So for anyone listening who is sitting there going, oh, shall I? My mantra for 2026 is to say yes to more opportunities, and say yes to it, because you absolutely grow and come out of it with so much connection. You build on your strategy, you build on your mindset, you are supported, your business grows, but ultimately you grow, I think. I think as a person, you see the shifts, and they might be small little shifts, they might be massive shifts, but they're still all there, and it does happen.
Oh, love, feeling the love down the podcast. Well, here is to 2026, and it's been an absolute pleasure and honour. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Design Boss Dialogue. If you love what you heard, then please share the podcast with your friends and any women that could do with a dose of empowerment just from me. I would love to hear your thoughts around today's podcast with your key takeaways and wins, because your feedback means everything to me. Also, don't forget to leave a review as well as hit that follow button so you never miss out on any inspiring conversations with me or any other trailblazing women I have on. Stay tuned for more exciting episodes, and remember, unleashing your inner design power and unlocking your true potential is only a click away. See you next time.